Hello, I'm Amy Zewe with the Jerusalem Connection Red Alert Report for February 19th. What's up and what's down? Let's have a look. In the United Kingdom, anti-Semitism is up 7% from total statistics collected in 2019. This is according to the Times of Israel. Britain's Community Security Trust recorded 1,805 anti-Semitic incidents, including 158 violent assaults in the United Kingdom. This is the fourth year in a row that Britain's Community Security Trust recorded and recognized record high totals of anti-Semitic cases. That was a 7% increase between 2018 and 2019. They've been making these recordings since 1984. The Labour Party, led by Jeremy Corbyn, I think is a leader in one of the reasons why anti-Semitism is on an uptick in the UK. Corbyn has come under prolonged attack by people within his own party, thankfully, for allowing anti-Semitism to fester while participating in it on its own. One way because he cohorts with members of terrorist organizations, and another because he refused to allow his party to adopt the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance definition of anti-Semitism. Jeremy Corbyn, thankfully, has promised to step down after December 2019's general election, in which the Labour Party suffered its worst defeat since 1935. Some Labour members are blaming this loss on their leader's repeated unwillingness to stand up to the stain of anti-Semitism. Several candidates running to replace Corbyn have signed a pledge to address anti-Semitism in their party. Now, I'm very encouraged by these actions in the UK, even though I'm discouraged that the violence has gone up and anti-Semitism in the society has gone up. I'm excited to see that the Labour Party has recognized their contribution to this atmosphere in the nation, and that the people in the Labour Party are railing against it. And I am hoping and praying that the U.S. Democrat Party will do the same thing, root out the anti-Semitism within their own party and seek to replace it with the more traditional pro-Jewish movement that they have felt. Remember, in both the UK's Labour Party and in America's Democrat Party, it is usually the political home of many Jewish citizens. Well, I spoke last week about the issues going on in France, and this week about the UK. Let us look at the opposite effect going on in South Africa, a place that was just a few decades ago an international bastion of prejudice, discrimination, and apartheid, and division amongst its society based solely on identity. Well, they're reporting an all-time low in anti-Semitism in its society. And that's the exact opposite of what's going on in many first world countries, including Britain, France, America, New York in particular, and of course, American college campuses. There were 36 incidents of recorded anti-Semitism in 2019 in South Africa compared to 62 the previous year, according to the South African Jewish Board of Deputies, which has been collecting this kind of information for many years. None of these cases include any kind of physical assault or desecration of Jewish property, which again is the exact opposite of New York City and France and the UK. Statistics in South Africa are bucking the increasing trend of global anti-Semitic activity. 75,000 Jewish people live in South Africa. Most of them are concentrated in Johannesburg. And to me, this is just wonderful news that this nation has recognized its sinful past and is actually living out the desire to change that racist and discriminatory atmosphere in its society. Now, I'm sure they have a lot of problems still, but this is a bit of good news. And in Germany, a lawyer there is suing Expedia. Expedia.com is a travel site where many Americans buy plane tickets, book hotels, etc. Expedia.de, which is Germany's platform, they are selling plane tickets for Kuwait Airlines. Now, Kuwait Airlines has a policy of not allowing Israelis to fly on their services or their service routes. So this German attorney has partnered together with a U.S.-based lawfare project, and they will fight against this racism, and they have sued Expedia for selling these tickets and allowing this kind of discrimination to happen on German soil, and to support the bias that the Kuwait airline has. And remember, the Kuwait Airlines is owned by the Kuwaiti royal family. Just a side note, Chelsea Clinton has made a lot of money from Expedia. She is a major stockholder, initial investor, and enjoys a seat on their board. I would hope that Miss Clinton maybe didn't know that this was going on, and now that she does, she can raise her voice and use her influence and her power to remedy this situation and make sure it's not happening in any other regard within Expedia, and its willingness to sell or to be the vendor for plane tickets, hotels, and whatnot that will discriminate against Jewish people or any kind of people for that matter. I'm going to give Miss Chelsea the benefit of the doubt that maybe she didn't know this was going on, but clearly she must know by now. And I very much hope that she's doing something about it within the field of influence that she has as a board member with Expedia. We all have to do just that. Influence how we can, when we can, to make sure discrimination is not happening, anti-Semitism is quelled, and that the truth and reality of the Jewish people and the state of Israel are always looked at fairly and honestly. No group of people deserves to be discriminated against for any reason from an airline or any other commercial organization. Shavua Tov, and have a great week.